Hey everybody, it's Chris and Tony back for another review for the
What's
Tiger
up?
Sox series, the Blue Collar Beer Gourmet.
We're
Today,
excited today.
we are excited today because fall is steadily approaching, and it's actually starting to cool off just the slightest bit here in Vegas.
By
It
our
went down from
standards, yeah.
110 to 107, so we're seeing the crispness of fall. And Tony had a great idea. He said, with fall coming up and more fall beers coming up at the stores, why don't we start doing some fall beers? And I said, sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, some parts of the country this late in August, they're gonna walk outside and actually have fall in the coming days.
Yeah, my girl's actually she's in Portland. She said this morning she woke up, the temperature was 61.
Oh,
So,
we're gonna
yeah,
be 97, I think, today for the high, which for this point in August is actually quite a break.
yeah,
So that's why we're in the garage.
exactly. We're in the garage,
Some new
and
bottles back there. That's
despite
for
the
you to
fact that
find.
I'm not quite as red as normal when we're out in the garage, not about to burst into flames. But
Combustible, Chris?
with autumn approaching, we did get a autumn beer, and Tony's
Yeah.
going to show you. This is the Tumbler. It's a brown ale from Sierra Nevada. Those who
It is.
aren't aware, they brew out of Chino Hills, California. It is a West Coast beer. I think they have a pretty wide distribution, though. I think like you can find Sierra Nevada even in the Midwest and
Oh, I'm almost certain of it.
even
I think
parts
they
of
have a
the
second
East Coast.
brewery in actually Mills River, North Carolina.
Oh, okay,
Um,
so there you go. That's why they're available on the East Coast. They got
Literally
breweries on
each end
both.
of the country.
Yeah. And the other thing about Sierra Nevada is they make great beers,
Wow,
and
absolutely.
more often than not, when I go into either Lee's or Total Wine and I look at the single bottles of Sierra Nevada, buck 79, buck 69, sometimes as little as $1.59 for really good beers. So
Awesome beers.
Sierra Nevada is definitely the working man's friend when it comes to craft beer aficionados.
Yes, for
And
sure.
I, you know, I don't want to gush, but very, very, very infrequently would I find a beer from Sierra Nevada that I'd say, wow, this just doesn't work for
Yeah,
me.
I agree. I've always put them in my the Mount Rushmore of brewers. If there were such a thing, I wish I could build a Mount Rushmore of brewers. That'd
Of
be cool.
brewers, that would be
Maybe in
pretty
the
cool.
next video, there'll be literally like a
Both the Cokes.
be for a mountain back there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Sierra Nevada belongs, in my opinion, on the Mount Rushmore of beers, not only because of their quality, but because of the fact that they're just trailblazers. I mean, go back to 1980 when the Pale Ale came out.
Hmm.
There was nothing like it. I mean,
Yeah,
it was groundbreaking. It revolutionized the business. I mean, it is to be like, I don't want to say worshipped, but I mean they get the respect they deserve, and they should always be considered,
I would
one of the
say
pioneers of the
I would
business,
say
no
the Blue
doubt.
Collar Beer Gourmet endorses the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale as the craft beer pale ale go-to. It really
I
is.
totally agree.
If somebody was wanting to try pale ales and they just weren't sure and they didn't want anything too exotic or too
Yeah,
spicy or what have you, I'd
right.
tell them go check out Sierra Nevada's pale ale.
For
And
sure. Plus, after all this time, it tastes just like, I mean, it doesn't even seem like they've tweaked the recipe in the slightest. It's still got that awesome, rich, original I mean, I wasn't drinking it in 1980. I was 6 years
right,
old,
yeah.
but my earliest memory of drinking the Pale Ale, which has been probably in the 90s sometime, I still think it tastes. I can't say that the same about certain beers I've had that are old.
Mhm.
I'm like, this tastes kind of different from,
And I find
you
the
know,
pale ale bottle or tap because you see Sierra Nevada throughout Washington when I was up there. It's going to taste the same. It
yep,
really is.
yep,
It's one of those few beers that you don't notice a particular difference between bottle
exactly.
or keg.
And
So
they always make really good seasonals. This is the Tumbler,
I
which is the autumn brown ale. It has an ABV of 5.5%.
bottled on the 6th of July.
Yeah, 6th of July. Tumbler is our take on the classic brown ale, full of roasted malt flavor, delicate on the palate, and perfect for crisp fall days. Layered with notes of chocolate and toasted bread and a hint of smoke, Tumbler is the ultimate autumn beer. Doesn't that
There you
sound
go.
good?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Sounds.
all,
To me, that's
open
yeah.
the,
Well, why not? Dude, that sounds like
quit talking and drink it.
sounds like autumn growing up in the Midwest.
Yeah. I'm always really excited to have the first taste of a seasonal by a company such as Sierra.
Now, Tony's pop the top opener just now performed better than mine has been lately. Maybe it has to go through a spell, but Tony said that you were saying yours stopped working for a while,
I
then
have about
suddenly
a
just
50,
went to
I have
working.
about a 50-50 chance every time I use it. Well, it's old. I mean, it's got a lot of miles on it.
Yeah,
I mean, plus it's not exactly, built to last, I don't think. I mean, it's gonna open a lot of beers before it conks out. But
Still endorsing it. I'm just
oh
saying that
yeah,
I
no, it's a
just don't
great
know that it's.
product for sure.
I don't know that it can stand the test of time, and that's what I'm kind of finding out. Last night I had some difficulty, or not last night, night before last, Friday night. I had some difficulty opening the bottle with it.
Chris's glass.
Thank
Yeah,
you
it was being kind of a little stubborn with me too, actually. So
This is brown, but it's not. Hold it up whether you can see or not. You can actually kind of see through this. It's not so brown that it's not like porter brown. You know?
exactly right.
It's
almost got like a dark ruby. If you were to darken ruby a little bit.
yeah, somewhere between ruby and rust and
Right.
Brown
Exactly.
color. I'd say we've got low carbonation, but it is there. There is definitely carbonation.
Oh, yeah.
I'm watching teeny tiny little bubbles dissipate.
Yeah, I've got a little patch of bubbles right here, and some of them.
As you can see, not an overly noteworthy head. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It just has a thin head layer.
Plus, I poured it pretty delicately myself.
Well, these are kind of smaller glasses, so I don't blame
6
you.
ounces each this time, so.
I am smelling the nuts.
Absolutely, the bread. I'm getting the bread.
I'm
big
getting the
time.
bread. Yeah, I'm getting yeast and nuts for sure. And now I'm getting the chocolate.
Smokiness.
And I'm not getting the smokiness just yet, but
I'm getting like a just
okay.
like a
Yeah.
kind of a smoky
Pretty
bread.
much
Really,
almost,
like if there was such a thing as a.
Actually, everything
barbecue
that they
pit
listed
bread.
on the bottle, I just smell bread, smoke.
I'm not getting the chocolate yet.
No?
But I know I will.
Mhm.
Probably after my third sip or something. Great smell though. I mean, it smells like an autumn beer. It smells
Oh,
like
yeah.
a nice. It really makes you.
It smells like a brown ale.
It smells like a
Definitely smells like
classic
a brown
brown ale.
Mhm.
Nice and toasty. Once you take a sniff of it, you want to put it down your face pretty quick.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Mm. Oh, that's good. That's good.
That is good. Every single one of the notes you get from the bouquet, you also get in the aroma and the
Yeah, it's
in the
really
flavor.
true, right? It's really true to form. How sometimes a beer gives off one or two different uh, parts of the ingredients on the bouquet. This actually rounds it all up, puts it all together. It tastes fantastic.
You know, the smokiness almost comes off as an alcohol burn. You know, because it's only a 5.5 ABV, so you're really not getting an alcohol burn. But
Right. Smooth.
on the aftertaste, you do get that. You get that alcohol. It's not quite alcohol burn though. I think it's actually the smokiness.
Yeah,
Just
I
kind of,
think it's just like a toasty,
lingering on the
smoky,
palate.
kind of builds up in the back of your throat and the back part of your tongue.
Mhm.
Kind of sits there for a little bit, builds up the aftertaste, which I think is amazing.
And yet it's
Very nutty and bready.
it's despite despite that alcohol burn, I'd say this is a very low mouthfeel.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'm not getting any spikiness.
No, not at all.
Um,
Actually, just a second ago, I said to myself, smooth. It's a smooth drink, and like he said, it's not carbonated to the point
It's low
that
carbonation.
it's gonna
it really
fizz. It's
is.
not gonna fizz you at all with a bubble in your mouth, but it's smooth. It's like a very smooth brown ale.
I don't know. I need to come up with a title for those beers, but the beers that the craft beers where I think if you've got a friend, you're trying to get into craft beers, this is the brown ale to give your friend who's trying to get into brown beers, because this is not overly exotic.
Right.
It's tasty, but it's not one of those, oh, only a true craft beer person could drink
Right.
one of these.
I think
Very mellow.
It's genuine to the style. It's not a brown ale that's going to
Mhm.
throw like surprises at you, like like a cinnamon or an exotic
Coffee,
nut of
yeah, or
some
like,
kind,
sometimes
right?
you get that weird mocha.
Or even a variation of a malt. I mean, this is such a
Mhm.
malty beer that like, they're deciding to
That's
have a
cute, it is
race
malty,
outside.
yeah.
Sorry if that's picking up on you. I don't know what's going on
That's
there.
part of being blue collar, you know. I mean, we don't have a studio; we have Tony's garage.
Yeah,
So.
I didn't know I moved into the middle of the Indianapolis 500, but I guess I did. Crap.
Speaking of Indianapolis, Chris, you should be
Oh, yeah.
you should be getting your box very, very soon. I'm not going to say anything bad about him, but just to let everybody know, Gordon Biersch made a point of telling me, give us your mailing address. We'll send you some stuff that you'll dig. That was over 2 weeks ago. I've been waiting this whole time for something from Gordon Biersch to arrive because I was going to send it to my man in Indiana, and I just can't wait anymore. So, Chris, your box is arriving. Gordon Biersch, Get on it, guys. I mean, I remember I didn't ask for this.
Yeah,
You wrote me and said, "Give us your mailing
that's the
address.
backstory.
We'll
Yeah.
send it to you." I have yet to receive
And
anything
this
from
all
you.
started from an
It all
Instagram
started from me,
post, right?
from my review of Spit It Out,
That
Roush,
Marzen,
of
wasn't
the
it the
Marzen,
Marzen?
and
Right.
saying that I was not particularly impressed with
Right.
it.
And that's
So,
all it took. I mean, it was just him critiquing a beer, and they caught notice of it and said, "Hey, we don't want to, lose you as a customer or whatever, so we're going to send you some free
yeah,
stuff,"
just send us your
which is
mailing
cool.
address,
I
and we'll send
mean,
some your way.
for them to even do
And I
that, I'm
said,
like,
okay, that
wow.
sounds all right. I'm willing to, always willing to, give somebody a second chance. Even say a brewery like Sun King, which Tony and I have not been thrilled with the two beers we've had. If
Yeah.
Sun King said, hey, we like you, we want you to try some stuff, but I'll try just about any beer you hand me, really.
Sure.
I mean,
I mean, at least once.
unless you tell me this is an InBev Anheuser-Busch product, and then I might say, all right, I'll try it just to show you how bad it is. But
Go nanny nanny nanny.
anyway, I don't want to say anything bad about him. But Gordon Beers did not get their act together. They did not send anything. So Chris, your package will be arriving very, very
Maybe
soon.
it's going to come from corporate or some other. They got to get it through red tape or some
It's
crap.
possible, but the corporate is in
I'm
San
not making
Jose.
excuses for
You know?
Gordon Beers. I'm actually not really a big fan of theirs either,
Uh-uh.
but I am a fan of Sierra
Of
Nevada.
Sierra Nevada. Once
Big
again,
time Sierra.
5.5 ABV. This beer is just slightly over a month old.
I'm getting the smokiness
And,
now even more. Now
good
that we're,
stuff.
Yeah, now that we're at the bottom of it, I'm getting the smokiness is just like blooming. It's like developing more and more.
Tony picked up a six-pack of this, so I'm afraid I don't have an individual per bottle price for you.
Actually,
Based upon my
this
knowledge.
was the 12 pack,
Oh, the 12.
the fall sampler.
That's okay.
4
Yeah,
styles, 3 beers of each style.
gotcha.
So,
So I don't have a per bottle price for you. Even with it being a seasonal special beer and Sierra Nevada's price point, I'm willing to bet that I could probably find this at Total Wine if they've cracked these open and made them available for individual sale. Somewhere in the neighborhood of like 189, no more than probably
I
229.
was gonna guess
for-
about 79 if I had to
Yeah.
play prices right now.
Yeah.
That's another deal.
And I'm just adding that extra dime on there, honestly, because it's a seasonal thing, so I could see them maybe charging a little bit more.
It'd be
But
below
maybe
$2.
not.
It would be below $2.
Oh yeah, it'll be below $2, and even if it's a full retail establishment, here, one of the places that charges full retail, $2.29 at most. I'm thinking, so
Yeah, I bet it's below 2 myself.
yeah.
Anyway, high marks. What would you say on Untapped about this beverage?
Oh yeah, considering how textbook this is and how non-exotic
word,
it is, and
textbook.
how conducive it is, or complimentary it is to somebody who's just trying to start, this is probably for me going to get a 4.25. So
Yeah, I think it's worthy of that myself. It's true to its form. It's just kind of sum it all up. It's a classic brown ale.
it is malty.
It's
It has a
made
low
well.
mouthfeel, low carbonation, lower ABV with a 5.5.
Smooth, easy to drink. Yeah. If you're a fan of browns or you want to play around with browns, good one to try. Plus, you're going to get a pack. If you were to buy the fall pack, you're getting 3 other beers styles as well. So you'll get the pale ale, which is, we were just talking about that, the classic one.
And honestly, I think it's so mellow that those of you out there who are looking to get into beer cocktails, I think this would be a good brown
That's a
ale
good point,
to
yeah.
use as a base for your beer cocktails.
Good
I
point.
really do. So,
High marks. Good job. Sierra Nevada always pleases, man. They just never disappoint. Never.
well, I see we are closing in on our final minute and a half. So
Roll the credits.
We'd like to thank everybody for. Actually, we would like to thank you. We'd like to thank those who
Yes.
comment, those who subscribe, those
Yes.
who like, those.
Word's getting out on this.
Yeah, we haven't had any haters yet, but I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even mind a hater. So
Occasional haters.
occasional haters good. Haters
It is
keep
the
you in
internet.
line. Haters keep you honest. They remind you, they bring you back down to earth when you start to get too big
True.
head.
True.
So
And it is the internet, so sooner or later it will
exactly,
happen.
nobody has said anything racist about my mother, on our comments.
Right. They haven't even put down the Tigers and the Red Sox yet. So.
That's true, and yeah. So anyway, Tony and I would like to thank you all for watching and commenting and
Please
subscribing,
watch more
and
and give us suggestions.
and spread the word. Hey, yes, send suggestions by all means. That's the beauty of
Styles.
Tiger Sox, is that we're not quite as constricted to a budget like the others
Yeah,
are.
styles.
But we are closing in. We got almost 10 seconds left. So until then, cheers,
Drink good beer.
and don't break the bank doing it.
Later.